Hi everybody, Tara Whitney here from Whitney Consulting. We write grants, tenders and business cases, and you can find more about us on our website whitneyconsulting.com.au. That's WHITNEY consulting.com.au. I just thought I'd jump on video today just to talk about how we're going in terms of funding in this crisis, in the COVID-19 pandemic. So there's quite a bit of funding being announced and it's very confusing, and a lot of people have been asking me about it and what they can get for their company, for their business or for their community group. So the first thing for me to just cover off with you is that there are two different types of funding available during the crisis. One is a part of a stimulus package, which is a lot from the federal government or from state or local governments. And what that is not a grant, it's more funding that's available. So it's payroll tax relief or the JobKeeper stimulus package. So all of that is something that is not a grant. It's not something that you submit a grant application for with merit criteria that you need to answer. It is something that you need to speak to your accountant about. So just to cover off, that is not something that we do or provide assistance with. It is something to speak to your accountant about. You're either eligible or not eligible, which means you'll either get it or not. It's not a competitive basis. It's very much just are you eligible for that? And if so, you will get that stimulus package funding. There are also grants available. Now, what there is depends on whether you're a business or a community group, and it also depends on what you are doing. So there's, again, two different types of grants that are available. Firstly, there's grants that have nothing to do with the crisis, nothing to do with COVID-19. They are grant programs that were already open or were already planned and they just open as normal. Now, those grant programs, my advice to you is to apply if you can. If you are eligible for those grant programs, absolutely please apply, because a lot of people are in crisis at the moment. A lot of organisations will not be applying because they don't have the funds to make the application or to add the leverage funds that they need, the matching funds that they need for the grant, or they just don't have the time because they're so busy trying to get remote or whatever the other factor is. So whereas normally all grant applications are usually very oversubscribed, and so there are people that miss out, even if it is an okay application, that will miss out because there's so many people looking for that grant. At the moment, those existing programs will probably not be getting as many applications. So it is a really good time to apply for those existing grant programs. The second type of grant that's available is one that is specifically as a result of the crisis, and it's purely for COVID-19 impacts. So those programs are very much at the moment related to getting through the crisis. At some point they will turn to recovery, but at the moment they're very much about getting through. So they are either job creation or they are the social impacts of the crisis. So that can be mental health, domestic violence, and also helping the people that have lost their jobs, so food bank, those sorts of things. Now, what this means for you is if you are in that space, if you are helping people to get through the crisis, if you need assistance to get through the crisis, then that is something that you should be considering applying for to help you to do your job and to help people who are suffering mental health issues or domestic violence, specifically as a result of COVID and us all being cooped up. There is also then going to be a lot of grants that come out during the recovery phase and to help with the recovery. Now, these will be focused very much on economic development and jobs growth. If you have a project that you don't have a grant program for at the moment, but it is, for example, an infrastructure project or some sort of an expansion of your business, and it's going to help to promote economic development of an area, jobs growth, it's going to need lots of jobs to help it happen, that is where government will start to put funding in the future. So as part of the recovery, there will be grants released. So my advice to you is absolutely get your ducks in a row, do your project planning, make sure your project is shovel ready for when those grants are released. Get your business case written, have it all on paper, clearly identifying the benefits, how much it's going to cost, how many jobs it's going to create, and what it's going to do for the economy. If you have all of that information ready to go, even if the grant program isn't open, you can be starting to take that to your local politicians, to the department, and letting them know that you have this shovel-ready project ready to go that's going to have all of these benefits to help get the economy back on track. And that will give them something to consider putting funding towards if they have it. So that's essentially the case with grants and my advice at the moment. Keep informed, make sure you know what's going on with your grants. The stimulus package, yes, speak to your accountant. For your grants, sign up for any alerts, contact your local council and contact all of the state government departments that are relevant, or send us an email and get on our newsletter. You can do that through the website, which is, as I said, whitneyconsulting.com.au. And we send out a monthly newsletter which tells you all of the grants that are open or upcoming. We also do send out a mail blast every now and then if a new grant, particularly big grant, is released that you might be interested in. So make sure you're informed, make sure you're prepared and you're ready to go for when grant applications do arise. For the people that are applying for these grants at the moment that are helping to get through the crisis, just be aware that most organisations that are providing funding are making the application process easier to get through at the moment. So it should be more streamlined. It shouldn't be as difficult as it normally is. So you may not need assistance. You may be able to just do it yourself. So have a look at the application before you go and engage somebody like us to help you write your application, because you may not need to. You may be able to do it. They've streamlined the process to help you get through it and to make it quicker and an easier process to help through the crisis. But as always, if you have any questions, send me an email, Tara, T-A-R-A, at Whitney Consulting, W-H-I-T-N-E-Y, consulting.com.au. Thanks, guys, and I hope you're all staying safe and staying home.